Standing over the body of the broken cyborg, May feels her body weaken ever so slightly. Hunger is always gnawing at her, and in turn, her body. It is something that she's going to have to overcome on this icy world, or she will become nothing more than one of the other walking husks. She can take a small comfort though, that the new rifle that she holds in her hands will be able to keep her safe against many of the enemies that are here. May Crockett, it's time to hit the books again. Kia ora, Legionnaires, Rycon here, and welcome back to Cataclysm, Aftershock, where we're going to be leaving that cyborg behind. And May, we're going to be getting you to somewhere that has a bit of light. Or, it doesn't necessarily need to be somewhere that has light. We could always just go back towards our home, because we're going to be reading the book on our e-ink tablet PC. So let's start making our way back down. And I suppose we could collect some extra Lycan while we're out and about. No, we've got a lot already. And we just need to know how to process the damn stuff. Oh, have we had a look at this manhole cover here? Let's just see. Let's pry. Okay. Can we go down? It becomes blocked off halfway. Right, so the ones that don't actually have the markers on the map, they don't seem to be all that useful at all. We're just going to be going a little bit further down. There we go. And that Lycan, has it frozen once again? It has. Good. Very good. Let's let go of the wheelbarrow. And I'm fine with all of that staying in the wheelbarrow for now. We will be going downstairs, and we are going to be turning off all of our equipment as we make it down here. Okay, all right. So, focus could be better, could be worse. Regardless, we need to read this damn book. So, tablet PC, we're going to start reading Application of Salus IV Lycan. Back to it. All the while, we are listening to music at the same time, which is helping our focus stay up a bit. And there we go. We have an applied science of level 1 now. So, looking through all of this here, under food, we should have some new recipes available to us. Now, I'm not immediately seeing anything under there about Lycan, and none of that here as well. Okay, that's a little concerning. And you know why? It's probably because we need to have applied science too. Yeah, this book can take us up to level 2. So it seems like we're going to be doing this for a little while longer. Actually, hang on, before we do any more of that, do we have anything that we can drink here? Root beer? Wonderful. Let's go for it. Oh, also, I'm looking at the Lycan now. The shelf life is indefinite. It's not going to rot. We've got lots of clean water here as well, so let's just start slurping that back. Our calorie intake is just absolutely terrible. Let's have some of those gummy vitamins. Okay, and yeah, back to hitting the books. And it looks like we're going to need to get some new batteries into here, and thankfully, we do have a lot of different batteries now. Okay, and there we go. We've just started getting tired at 1:45. Let's turn off the screen on our tablet PC, and we're going to be laying down for the night. Now, it could still be worth us having even just a little bit of that Lycan, although the health penalty seems to be like extreme. It's like three exclamation marks. So maybe we don't do that. We're just going to have to go with the hunger for now. Yikes. And good morning, world. It is 9:45 when we wake up this morning. We're going to start by having some nice clean water to get going, slurp that back, and we're going to get straight back into reading. And there we go. Just before 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we've done it. Level 2 applied science, and we have a lot of new things that we've learned. We can make a smoke bomb, flamethrower fuel, and clumps of processed Lycan. Wonderful. So we need to have 4, and it looks like we need a heat source. It takes 2 hours and 31 minutes. It does seem like we get a lot of time saving by doing this as a batch. We can also just have a fire. A tool with containing of 1 clumps of Lycan. The military mess kit needs to have 1,500 charges for that to work. So just having access to a fire of some kind is probably going to be the best way to make that work for us. There is something else that we can do around us as well, potentially to help us with our food situation, and that's back up here if we head over towards the augmentation clinics, we have been seeing vending machines out the front, and there's a possibility that we may be able to crack our way into them. Oh, let's get that suit going. Yeah, it's so cold up here. Okay, let's grab the wheelbarrow as well at the same time. And I have also been thinking about our electronics. We are just probably going to need to bite the bullet and focus on that as well, just by taking things apart. It is a very, very slow way to do it, but it is a way that we can do it. Okay, this is all medical equipment. And we actually do have a cash card as well. Unfortunately, yeah, not food. Injectable iron, calcium tablets, and synthetic blood? Interesting. Okay, I guess if we start to get anemic, we can look at doing that. What other clinics haven't we had a look at? We do have the one that's up here and this one over here. Let's go for that one instead. It's not as far for us to reach. Oh my god. Where did that shot come from? We just got shot straight through the torso. And we are lucky to be alive. We're struggling to stand. Okay, the Talon drone. It is far away. It is to our south. How? Okay, we need to turn. We need to run right now, May. Okay, get behind cover. Holy crap. Our stamina is completely gone. Blood is gushing from her torso. Hemostatic powder. Let's use it right now on the torso. It's not stopped. All we've got are bandages. Medical gauze. Get it on there right now. We're hearing roaring. It's close. Okay, the bleeding has lessened. Let's peek around the corner. It is right friggin' here. You've got to be kidding me. Run around the corner? Do we have time to get a scrambler grenade out? Because I think that's one of our only chances here for that to, save us. Wield a scrambler grenade, run back around the corner. We just need to activate this thing, pull the pin on it, and we need to just throw it on the ground and hope that we're going to get it. Okay, it's right there. Let's run back around the corner. Oh boy. We're putting pressure on the wound. The Talon sparks. It is searching for a target. Let's peek around the corner. Okay, it's friendly. It's considered friendly right now. I don't know how long that's going to last for. We just need to get out of here. We need to go and keep going. The bullet tears through the air. The scrambler only held it off for a time. All that caution, all that preparation. May's last words, I served well. And that she did. As May lies there in the cold snow, the robotic drone fires round after round. Not content that May is dead enough. All May ever wanted was to get back to that ship, her battleship, in the hope of saving others, soldiers that she prayed were still out there. But fate can be cruel. Torn from her world and hurtled out to this moon, her life's blood flows into the white snow, seeping into the icy glacier below. We knew that drone was out here, but it wasn't to the south. Overnight, it moved, and while that scrambler saved us for a moment, it did not last. The Talon drone reprogramming itself, finding its mark. May, long shall you be remembered. In her time here on Salus IV, May killed over 106, by far our most successful run. And Salus IV is not done with our survivors, not yet. On a ship high above the planet, another fights for survival. Our attention now turns to another. Walter Krause, the 18-year-old juvenile delinquent that slayed his pursuer. Dropping grenades from upon high, Walter is a survivor. His background was not special. He in himself is not unique, yet his will to survive above all else enabled him to make it to safety. Yet there is no true safety in the Cataclysm. Just like Carmen, and just like General May, there was a rumbling. The sky splitting for a moment above Walter's head in an almighty bright white light. And so it is, as that bright light fades and is replaced instead by a stark fluorescent overhead, Walter Krause finds himself in a barracks, standing over the smoldering corpse of some unknown person. He can smell smoke and can hear numerous warning messages beckoning him to abandon ship. So then, he's at sea? Perhaps. But either way, Walter needs to get out. And as with all of our characters previously, Walter is exactly as we left him. A juvenile delinquent with some pretty decent traits, all things considered, but nothing special about him. He is good when it comes to unarmed combat, and his range skills aren't all that bad. His athletics, his healthcare, and his social skills are some of his highest. And right now, unfortunately, he's actually soaking wet from the rain he was in previously. Rain that's still with him, even though the clothing that he's wearing is different. The clothes are dry, yet his skin is wet. What is going on? Well, Walter, we don't have much time to think about that. There are 2 cards that we can see here on the ground. We're going to be grabbing both of those cards and seeing what else we can find here in these lockers. Throwable fire extinguishers. That sounds pretty good to me. And the rebreather mask we are going to put on because if Walter's right and we're at sea, well, he's going to need it. We also have an IFAK pouch over here with a large number of bandages and other bits and pieces of useful equipment, so we're definitely going to be trying to, I would say pick that up, but we don't have a lot of carrying capacity right now, so we're probably just going to take the bandages, the scissors, and the hemostatic powder if we can. The tourniquet is tempting, but I don't think we can afford to grab it right now. I will try and take the medical tape though, and the large fire extinguisher we are just going to wield. As judging by all the alarms, it sounds like, yes, there is a fire going on. So stepping out into this space, well, we can see all kinds of trouble in the form of fire. And you know, one of those throwable fire extinguishers I think is going to do the job. So dropping that on the ground, we're going to have a look at throwing this. As these extinguishers, we don't actually have to activate them. They are activated by heat. And now because Walter is decent at throwing, I'm hoping, yeah, right on the mark, son. Well done. And it seems to be doing a pretty good job at dispersing that fire there. We're going to have to do the same over here as well. So let's wield yet another and look at throwing that right over towards here if we can. Perfect, right on target. I don't know if we're going to get that last little bit of fire there, so I think we're probably going to just go and pick up the fire extinguisher. We're going to keep the last throwable one, and we'll just activate it once we get in close and extinguish those flames here, or, you know, try to. A little bit more, there we go. And backing up and away from that heat, I think we're feeling alright. But it is going to take a little while for all of that gas to dissipate, so we're probably going to have to come back and see if we can activate these doors in a moment or two. The rebreather mask might actually be able to protect us enough to be able to go through there without it affecting us. Recycles exhaled breath for rebreathing while underwater. We do need to turn it on. I'm still not 100% certain whether or not it's actually going to protect us from the poisonous gas down there, so we're not going to worry about that for the time being. We've got a lot of plastic sporks, foons, and plates out here, and all kinds of strange foods in the different vending machines here, yet we have no card to be able to buy these things with. So then, onwards, away from the barracks. And what's interesting here, there are no windows. Not a single one. Cargo bay door and shuttle bay 1. I'm certain that Walter would still think he is on a naval vessel of some kind, lost at sea somehow. And we've got a workshop over here. Alright, let's go and crack that door. One of the ID cards seems to work just fine, and oh boy. Well, first of all, we have a lot of fire here, but then we also have power armor. For lack of a better word, we have these great big exosuits on these large gantries. Now I think we're probably going to have to drop the fire extinguisher for us to be able to jump over here, okay? And we have had a look at these suits before in the past, and I'm certain I'm going to be able to get this activated correctly this time. So what we're going to have to do first of all is look at pretty much taking off almost everything to begin with. So stripping off. Let's go get the underlayer on first of all. Nice and wrapped up there, Walter. We're next going to wear the exosuit frame. It has a UPS on it at the moment, but we're also just going to need to go and start inserting things into the frame. So using that there. And having a look down here, we have a power supply unit. We also have a small load support unit, which can increase the amount of carrying capacity that we can take in this exosuit. And we also have arm plates, a helmet plate, legs, and torsos. So that's plastic armor that's going to protect this entire suit. There is also some mounted lamps as well, but we only want one of those right now. Let's just go and get everything else that we've got for the moment, and let's turn on the exosuit. Give it a moment, and there we are. We can see just fine. And we can also see, yeah, after waiting a turn, our strength has bumped up to 17. So this suit is really doing some work. We can see that we have encumbrance across the board, but it's pretty light encumbrance just overall. Unfortunately, our speed is a little bit slower in this kind of clunky power armor, but I say it's clunky, yet we're still able to kind of get around quite well. It doesn't look like we can wear anything else while we are wearing power armor, so the underlayers, everything else, the tool belts, we can't really utilize them. And the drawback of power armor here, I think, is that we just can't carry much with the current frame that we have. So I'm going to go through some of the other rigs that we have here and just see what we have available to us. So gasoline ice power supply, designed to attach the exosuit's back. It's an internal combustion generator with an integrated UPS fueled by gasoline. I don't know how common gasoline is going to be, so I don't know how useful that will be for us. The structural imager, we have seen that in action before. I think we're going to want to chuck that on, and the mounted lamp as well. So back into our inventory, back to the frame, and let's insert the mounted lamp, and we're also going to insert the structural imager. There we go. Now we also do have a power cutter here that's powered by avgas. It's a huge multi-fuel powered saw with a diamond blade. Okay, so it can run off pretty much anything, and I imagine it can cut through nearly anything as well. Now I would love to be able to bring that with us if we can. I'm going to try and bring as many things as possible with us, so yeah, it's just going to be a question of whether or not we can actually haul these things over the fence and whatnot. I imagine if we kind of just stand on it, we might be able to throw it over the side. Was there anything else here that we wanted? There was the small load support module. There's the plasma torch as well, which I don't think that we're going to use right this second, but I do think it's going to be a useful tool. It takes a long time to attack with it just as is, but I think it can also be activated, like it'll kind of cast a spell, but it does need to have power to be able to do that. So yeah, let's look at just shifting that onto the floor for now, and we're just going to be dragging that along, as well as this other little kit here. Stop hauling for the moment, and let's see, can we climb? We can climb just fine in this thing. Oh, we strain to climb with the weight of our possessions, and our wet hands do make it a little bit more difficult. So we can see that we're carrying 75 kgs at the moment. We do have a lot of volume, but unfortunately, if we have a look at the actual frame itself and then open up the pockets, we have all of these small individual pockets in which a lot of them have very specific things that can go in there. Like this is just for mounts for your helmet. So we can put quite a few things on our helmet, and there are some other things that do seem to be like general storage, like this is a mount for storing items in the torso, but it's also a holster. So I'm not sure what we're actually going to be able to store in those places. It does seem like it can carry an okay amount, like 25 liters worth of storage is really good, but it seems to have restrictions as to what can go in there. I mean, there are no items in the whitelist or the blacklist, so I'm not sure how it determines what you can actually take and what you can't. For now, let's just go and shift these things over here, and let's see what else we have down here, what we might want to try and get. A small auxiliary battery, that sounds good. We can probably actually put that onto our suit now, so let's just move on over here for the moment, and let's go to our frame and go insert. Oh yeah, auxiliary battery, and it actually has charge in it at the moment, so we can probably swap out the batteries that are in that, I would hope. There's another plasma torch here as well. We're not going to worry about that. And I'm kind of tempted to grab one of the small load support modules. They do use a little bit of power, but that's once they're activated. Right now, it currently isn't activated. We have another power supply unit here. It's an integrated UPS. I don't know if we can put that on as well, because I guess it would be good to have a few different power supplies. Okay, so it looks like we can only kind of get one into there. Can we unload that? No, unfortunately we can't. So I guess the next question is, that's got 214 charges in it at the moment. How much charge do we have? 296, so our power supply is still better than what that one was. I'm just making sure that we're not missing out on anything else there. No, doesn't look like it. Over here, we have another gasoline supply unit. We've got 4 of these small load support modules, so you can probably get a few of them in. I also don't think that these have carrying capacity in them. I'm just making sure if that's the case. Yes, so it increases the exosuit's weight bearing at the cost of power consumption. And this is just a small variety. I think there are the regular or large varieties as well. And we're looking at pretty much the same stuff here. Okay, so I think what what we're going to do is take the other load support modules, because hey, I don't know how many of those we may want, so I think it's going to be worth us kind of dragging them along for the time being. Stop hauling for the moment, start climbing over the fence, and let's just get all of that stuff moved. Up and over for now. Alright, and so that's kind of everything that we've been able to get from here for the moment. Let's say haul everything here, there we go. And moving into the next space, right, okay, we have pods. Escape pods. What a strange ship we are on, Walter. Checking over the bodies that we have here, they have hard leg guards on them, a vat-forged pistol, some hot antibiotics, and yet another pistol down here as well. However, as we can see, it doesn't fit in any of the pockets. I'm not sure what pocket the antibiotics would be going into. I'm kind of intrigued to see where they've ended up going. So they are currently in our underlayer. Right, okay. The max length for the underlayer is only 15 centimeters, and we can't really carry much in there at all. So it is a bit unfortunate that we seem to be pretty limited in what we can carry here. One thing that we could do is if we found a backpack of any kind, we can just carry that in our hand and carry some things away with us. Other than the pistols here, I don't think that there is much else that we would want to take from these corpses. It looks like, though, that the people that are here were fighting, perhaps one another, to get into these different escape pods. We have a trusty Safert pistol down here, and we have a duffel bag. Wonderful. Very, very good. So let's go and wield that duffel bag then. So we've just got that in our hands, and now we can start to take some things. Very good. Very good. So we are going to take the Safert, I think, over the vat-forged pistol. Let's just have a look at the two and just see how they stack up against each other. Wow, they're actually identical. Yeah, seemingly identical. So we have used the Safert quite a bit. It's just interesting that the stats are exactly the same. The Safert's a little bit lighter. So we're going to take the Safert, and we are just going to start to try and take not the magazines, but just the... hang on, actually, that's an 84K magazine, so I think we can use that with the Safert just fine. So yeah, we'll also take the magazine for now. And popping over here, it's going to be the same deal. So let's go take that, and let's also take that. Anything else that we wanted to take from you? Not right this second. There's a fire in there. That does not look good. You know what? I suppose we could knock that fire out and see if there's anything in there that we may want. Oh, no, drop the duffel bag and wield the large fire extinguisher, opening that door there. Let's go and activate that. Okay, wow, great. We got sick from inhaling the mist. That didn't work, so let's just close that door. Wonderful. We got poisoned. Fantastic. It's not bad. Poison right now, so alright, it could be worse, I suppose. Let's drop that fire extinguisher then. Let's pick back up that duffel bag, and can we get any of these things in there? It looks like we can get some of them. The plasma torch is really big, so we're not going to worry about that right this second. It does look like we have another escape shuttle down there, so that's the one that we're probably going to try and go for, but we're just going to check this area first of all and see if there's anything that we can take. The IFAK pouch, we're going to be taking the bandages. I'd actually like to take the whole pouch if possible, just because it's got purification tablets, and plus we can use the pouch to just carry other things going forwards. Some more throwable fire extinguishers. I don't think they're going to help all that much. And hey, we got ourselves a crash axe down here, some oxygen candles. Let's look at grabbing that crash axe, and we may very well be able to use that crash axe to try and get some meals before we try and leave here. So let's start to make our way back towards the mess hall. I am going to be occasionally checking our power just to see how much the consumption is over time. We're still at 293, so it doesn't seem to be all that severe. Oh man, okay, it's still there, huh? Yeah, the clouds have not dispersed. That is unfortunate. I hope that that goes away sooner or later. For the moment though, let's just drop the duffel bag. Actually, I think we might need to be wielding it to be able to access the stuff that's in there. No, that's a lie. We can just grab the crash axe right out of that. Okay, let's start swinging at this thing. With our strength, we should be able to manage this. We don't seem to be damaging it. I mean, our strength is a little lower than I would like right now, and I think that's because of the moderate pain that we're dealing with. There isn't much that we can do about that. I will actually just take a moment to bandage up our torso, and I don't think we're going to worry about bandaging the others, but I'm going to continue to just try and smash this. Wow. Oh, it's a reinforced vending machine. Well, I guess I'm not surprised then. All right, let's grab that duffel bag again, put the crash axe back into it, and see if there is a way through all of this stuff, because I really want to try and get over towards here. We may just have to accept that we're gonna get poisoned. It's just frustrating that the rebreather isn't going to be able to help us here at all, and this just doesn't seem to be dispersing. Okay, I tell you what, it's a bit risky, but I think we're going to take a moment here. We're going to turn off our suit. There we go. We're deafened while that happens. We're going to wait 1800 heartbeats, and let's activate that suit again. Okay, and it's still there. I don't think that is going to go away. So, is what we're going to be able to get from here potentially worth us poisoning ourselves? Maybe. But it's a big bloody maybe. I think we got to go for it. I think we're just going to have to try and run through. But I am going to try and see if we can wait until there's a little bit of an opening. Like that. Like that's kind of good enough. Let's go. Swipe the card. Hacking tool does not have enough charges. Oh, shite. We don't have the card. Well, I don't think I want to get any more poisoned than we just got, because it's going to take a little while for that to dissipate. The ID cards that we've got, we have left them back down with the rest of our equipment in here. That is very unfortunate. And well, we can't see over this way anymore. So that makes me think that bad things are probably happening to the ship. So let's grab the power supply, the support modules. Oh, we're overburdened. On second thought, let's just leave them down there for now. And I think just to be safe, we are going to go and activate one of those units that we have on the ground, just because we are slightly over encumbered at the moment. So let's go ahead and insert one of the load support modules into there. Hopefully it didn't do all of them. It looks like it might have done all of them. So let's activate that and see how that affects us. Okay, it did give us a little bit more, but not too much. Oh, and we can activate them kind of just one at a time, it seems. Let's see. Yeah, we're at 113 now, so we're going to be consuming power a little bit faster, but it does allow us to carry more weight. Not so much of the volume, though. We are just going to haul along the plasma torch for now and make our way on over towards this escape pod. Ready to escape? Yes. Okay. Stepping forwards, that's what we're looking for. Into the pod we go. In an instant, Walter is thrown back into his seat as rocket motors fire all around him. A long controlled burn, and then impact. Silence falls afterwards, apart from the slight ticking of the metal, followed, of course, by the cold, slowly creeping in, all encompassing. The icy grasp of Salus IV starts to wrap its tendrils around Walter, coming to, with the power armor still active and his head still feeling hazy from that fire extinguisher mist. He opens the pod door and upon exiting finds himself in an alien world. Now thankfully, in this power armor, we are relatively well protected from the cold, but we are still feeling it. And I think that's probably in part the fact that we are wet right now, so that's not super great at all, and I am concerned about our power usage going forwards. We probably don't need to be carrying the gasoline power supply unit, so that's something that we're more than likely going to end up leaving here at this escape pod. Let's get a little bit of an idea of what's going on in our surroundings. We can see a town over here to the southwest, something perhaps that we can just make out. Right now, Walter is standing next to some hydrothermal flats, and we can see them, these strange spindly trees and lichen that covers the icy fields of Salus. And there are a few things different with how I've generated the world this time. Namely, there is no more mind over matter. And that town that you can see down there of Leo Minster, there is a strong chance that this might be all that we're dealing with down here. The town sizes are much more smaller to kind of simulate the smaller scale outposts that are stretched across Salus. So smaller communities, further apart, even more of a challenge for us going forwards, and with no offices in which we can find extra resources that we wouldn't have access to otherwise. So Walter already has his work cut out for him, but thankfully this time we have something extra in this power armor that we have with us. We also have a few other things in here. We have the landfall survival gun, and hey, some heat retention cream. We're going to be taking that. We're going to be taking the purifier, the multi-tool, the rations, the mess kit,
the clean water. Honestly, the survival manual could still be quite useful, so we'll be taking that, as well as, pretty much everything. We're going to take everything from this. The flashlight we shouldn't need, but we're going to take the battery from that. And the survival rifle, I really don't see that helping us out all that much. We are considered overburdened at this point, so yeah, let's go and get a drop in. First of all, the ice power supply. Yeah, that's what was taking up most of our space, so I think we're going to be able to turn off these other two support modules, and we should be totally fine. We're not quite totally fine. So the easiest way for us to sort this then is just, sort by weight. We can see that the power supply unit, that's taking up a fair bit. Honestly, the clean water is taking up quite a bit as well, but we are most certainly going to want that. What do we got in this plastic bag here? That's what the rations are in. Okay. I think because we are feeling so much cold at the moment, we are going to use one of those heat retention creams, which, seems to be back here. Yeah, we weren't actually able to grab everything, it seems. So, heat retention cream, first of all, let's go and apply that. Wonderful, we're feeling much, much better now. And we'll see if we can't actually grab some of these other bits. Yeah, I'm happy with all of that. Now, the manual does tell us to remain calm and consult your escape pod's control console for further instructions. I don't think this console is working, though. From what we can tell, the guidance system is not working, and its easy-to-use control console apparently broke during the descent. Well, that is unfortunate, isn't it? Oh, and I should also note that the escape pod was kind of bugged, and the main reason why we don't have our plasma torch right now is that I actually had to whisk Walter away to this escape pod that I managed to place down. Not sure if it's a common bug, but it's one to be aware of. Right, so we are looking okay weight-wise now, and we'll be getting better as our strength is getting better. We are no longer considered to be poisoned, so that's definitely a help. I wish we could wear the damn duffel bag, but I think we're just going to have to, keep a hold of it for now, as it's one of our only ways to carry stuff. And we know the direction that we're going to be heading in. We are going to be heading southeast down towards Leo Minster. Our speed, it's not looking great, 78. Let's go close this for now. And I think if trouble does come our way, we have a few different options that we can roll with. For one, we do have the Safer pistol, which we should probably get that topped off if we can, so I think having 2 loaded magazines at any given time is probably going to be more than enough. So we're just going to go and top those off. There we are. Okay, Walter, let's start leaving this place behind. Now, we do know that we can come back here should we need the other power supply, but I think the first thing on his mind is going to be getting to safety of some kind. Minus 50 degrees C out, it's a lot, and hey, we just passed by some bullet casings. Something's been happening out here on the ice. And it's actually, we can see it's starting to snow ever so slightly. And we can actually make out more of the town here. And there is a little bit more to it. We can see the aquacultural center, the augmentation clinic, and a house. Let's maybe try and start off with just the house A. And let's really hope that we don't run into any of the inhabitants soon, because we know how dangerous this damn world is now and just how difficult it can be to survive in it. So far, so good though. And yeah, I don't know if we are going to find anything amazing in these different spots here. We saw something briefly then, that's a little concerning. But we did find that Herc rig once, and that might be something that we can end up using with power armor, so I think it's still worth me going in and having a look at these places. I mean, we still will be taking the fancy hairpins wherever we find them, because we are going to be able to use those eventually to make lockpicks. I think at the moment we're at 41% for lockpicking for Walter. You would think a juvenile delinquent would have a little bit more, but I guess he just smashes windows and doesn't bother picking them. That MP3 player we grabbed as well, that will help us out. Not much in the bathrooms, unfortunately. And out here, what do we have? Cryosuits. We know how useful those cryosuits can be, and we may have to rely on them depending on how long this power armor can last for, and just how we go about charging it, because, we don't seem to be able to reload these. But if we do have another UPS, it may be able to charge it. So it's designed to attach the exosuit's back. It's a large rechargeable battery with an integrated UPS. So as long as we can get a battery charger hooked up and working, we'll be doing okay. I think it's still probably going to be worth us grabbing the office scissors, just in case the other stuff doesn't cover it. We've got a soldering iron as well, which we're definitely going to take. And over here in the kitchen, what do we got? Lots of knives, none of which that we want to take right now, and organic sludge that we can eat. We can eat this stuff. Do we want to eat it? I don't know. And it looks like we're going to have to heat it up to be able to eat it anyway, so I think we'll stay away from it for the moment. We do have access to some interesting batteries and other bits and pieces. We're going to grab the screwdriver and the super glue, grab that X-Acto knife too. The outdoor extension cord we're also going to pick up. I know we're getting a little bit closer to our carrying capacity right now. Also, do we need a hammer? We might not. We're definitely going to grab this medium battery from the coffee maker, and honestly, tea leaves can't go amiss. There we go. And I would like to take some kind of pot with us. We do have our mess kit though, so I think we should be okay in that regard. Oh yes, and we did want to have a look at hammering. So the crash axe, that is going to be able to do our basic prying and whatnot. It's good for chopping, but yeah, not so much for hammering. So we are still going to want to have at least one hammer, and that starts to put us overweight with everything that we've got on. So I think we're going to have to go and turn one of those modules back on. Activating it, it does give us the extra carrying capacity that we need for the moment. I think that's probably going to do it for what we want to try and get from this kitchen. So we are going to mark this place as explored and see what else we might want to have a look at here. I mean, honestly, moving through the formless ruins, we can potentially find some interesting things there. The astrobiology lab can be kind to us as well. I think for now, we want to try and stay away from maybe the augmentation clinics because of the cyborgs that can be there. Walter doesn't know that. He's just exploring for now. So let's just kind of stick to the outskirts. I am slightly afraid that if we do see regenerators or something like that, we're not going to be able to get away because of, well, our speed. It is a little bit better. We are actually seeing a manhack over towards the west, apparently. Oh, no, not the west. That's down to our southeast. I think let's just try and duck into this home, first of all, just to see if there's anything else that we can gather from inside. Nothing in the washing machines. What about the kitchen? More sludge, as ever. And there's actually some unfrozen sludge here, which if we go to eat... Oh, there's forest honey here as well. That's really good to know. But yeah, the sludge actually does nothing for us. No calories. It just makes us upset. There may be some kind of vitamin intake that you get from organic sludge, but we'll probably stick away from it for now if we can. Let's just go and grab some more batteries from here for the time being. Got another medium one here. Lots and lots of tea leaves, probably more than we need right now. But the forest honey, that's a good one. And I'm half tempted to eat that right now, but we are still doing okay on our weight, aren't we? Yeah, so we can go a little while before we need to start eating a load. Okay, alright, let's check out the rest of the place. Standpipe maintenance log over here, just in a bin, and a gallon can as well. It doesn't actually weigh us down that much. I think it's probably worthwhile us chucking that in the duffel bag for the moment. More cryosuits, which again, I guess we could chuck them in if we really want to, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We are going to make sure that we get some medical supplies though. Aspirin, most certainly, antiseptic always, and multivitamins, yes please. And I'm going to try and set these up so that when we pick things up, they'll automatically go into these bottles. The antiseptic, that's not going to work, but the multivitamins and the aspirin, I think that they can take quite a few in each of those bottles. And just in case you've never seen it done before, all we need to do is open up our pocket settings here. We can already see that there is a whitelist, so multivitamins, they should go into here, but we just need to increase the priority of that. So let's say set priority. I'm going to say priority 1. I don't know if 1 is better or 10 or what, but it's above 0, so I think that means it gives it priority. Next, I'm going to be going to the aspirins and doing pretty much the same thing there. The alcohol wipes are always useful as well, so it's worth us picking them up for now. I'm not so worried about the cough syrup, so let's not be worried about it. We will probably use some of those alcohol wipes now though, just to get our torso looking a little bit better, and we'll check the others, see if there's anything that we want. Sounds like the weather has calmed down outside, that's nice. And we have cleared this house. We've got 3 other houses across the way, which is great, but I think we're going to want to go into the astrobiology lab next. So, we're hearing a fair bit of activity. Now, I don't know how this is going to go, really. Mechanical whirring could be a skitterbot, could be a number of other things. I am, concerned about what those possibilities could be. At the same time, we are pretty well protected right now. Maybe let's just try and see if we can enter this the proper way, right? Before I do anything else. So let's just kind of stick to the edge of the building for now. We'll peek out on the street. I can see a manhack in the distance over here, which is probably the same one that we saw before. And okay, vehicles. This is the first time that we've seen vehicles in Aftershock. We've got a beetle and a hashback that have slammed together. That is very interesting to see. I think the reason why that's happened is that where the roads intersect in Aftershock, the origin for those is Dark Days Ahead, and that's why we're sometimes getting sewers that spawn in the center of the roads. All the other roads are Aftershock, so yeah, the intersections, for whatever reason, are still standard Cataclysm, so there's a possibility of us finding things like vehicles there, which that's kind of cool. No, we're not going to be getting in that way, are we? No. And the manhack has seen us now, so it's going to be making its way on over towards us. I'm kind of half tempted to see if it makes it all the way over here. We're going to drop the duffel bag for the moment, and we're going to wield the crash axe. That's going to be our weapon of choice. We could just look at punching as well, just because our strength is 17, and we are skilled with unarmed combat. I mean, the crash axe, though, it's still just a very good weapon, starting off. I think let's stick with that, and let's see how we perform against the skitterbot. Honestly, not too bad. It's trying to shock us, but it fails. And we are now inside an astrobiology lab. Let's just haul all that stuff inside. For the moment, we shall drop that crash axe and pick up that duffel bag again. This is totally an awkward way to do all of this, but hey, it gives us the extra carrying capacity that we need. Right, so an induction hot plate, that looks really nice, and supposedly it's meant to be more efficient than the mess kit that we've been using, but the thing is the mess kit's kind of like all-inclusive. We are also finding water here as well, which that's nice, but we already have an okay amount of water. Honestly, I don't think that there is much that we're going to want to try and grab from here right this second. I mean, I will grab these batteries for now though, because they are completely full, and I think if we can find a few things like that, then yes, we will most certainly take that, and also books wherever we can find them. I think having at least one heavy battery sounds good to me. I think in general, what we're probably going to want to try and do is get one of the cryosuits, just so that we can have that for when we are just doing everyday normal things, and then we have the power armor for when we're going to be going out and about. I think much earlier on, I'm going to want to try and establish a proper base of some kind. Yeah, we've got a lot of batteries here, more than we actually need right this second, so I'm not going to mark this place as explored because we haven't fully explored it yet, but we are definitely going to be taking a few of these books and moving on. Anything in the lockers? Yes. Okay. Gas mask, we're definitely going to be taking that along with the cartridge, and there is a first aid kit box here. We're going to be taking all of those little bits and pieces. Unfortunately, we're not going to learn anything from that. We're going to take the aspirin out of that, take the antiseptic, and the saline solution I'm not so worried about. Some items were not picked up. Okay, what did we leave behind? Honestly, I'm not sure. Whatever. It is totally fine. Got ourselves a cream soda here. We're at max capacity of this duffel bag. Now, we got 40 items in there at the moment, and we cannot possibly contain everything that we've got. And there's a few drinks here that I would love to be able to hold on to, but we're not going to be able to. Yeah, memory cards, we still have a little bit of space for them, so it's definitely a volume problem more than anything. So then, I think making sure that the town of Leo Minster is clear is going to be our first step. Manhack, hello. Alright, we're going to close that door, we're going to drop the duffel bag, wield the crash axe, and let's see if we can't take this manhack down. Okay, it actually no way. You shattered our arm plate? It's just gone. Damaged plastic arm plate. What does that do for us now? It's still, the protection is pretty good, but I'm surprised. I'm really quite surprised by that. We are going to haul that out the way, just so that we can close the doors behind us. Let's just maybe just haul the duffel bag for now. That's not a bad way for us to do it. It is slow, although in saying that, our speed is now 91. Look at us, speed demon. So I'm wanting to kind of hang back here a little bit, because if we do need to jump into our pack to be able to grab out a pistol, I want to be able to do that pretty quickly. Actually, let's just stop hauling. Let's leave the duffel bag there for the moment, because it's full right now, so we can't do anything else for it. I am just going to go through here, see if I can't find anything else really useful, and see if I can't find one of those rigs. And also I'll just mark if I find anything interesting that we actually want to come back for. And I mean, okay, we've got a first aid kit box here. So what we're going to do with that is we're just going to bandage, using the bandages that are in here, all of our wounds, just so that they have a chance to get fully healed. There we go. Used antiseptic on everything as well. Obviously the multivitamins, they are still going to be quite useful to us. The antiseptic that we've got can very well be useful as well. Yeah, I mean, I do want these bandages. We can fit smaller things in our inventory still, so maybe I should have the duffel bag with us, but I'm really just kind of scouting things out more than anything right now. Yeah, you know what? Let's just get back to the bag. There's no real point in me going into those places if I'm not going to be taking the stuff while we're there. Otherwise, I'm just going to forget that we had access to it. Alright, back in we go. And alright, we do have another manhack over towards the east. Let's keep that door closed for now then. Well, we're doing very good for multivitamins now. Okay, how many do we have in total? Well, at least 50. At least 50, and then the rest that couldn't fit into that bottle. So we're going to probably drop the excess now, and we'll eat some of those excess ones. Oh, there's some tramadol there that's probably worth us trying to take. We'll just have to take it out of the bottle because we don't have enough volume to be able to take bottles right now. Yeah, okay. I think I'm alright with calling this place explored. Oh, hang on. Cannabis seeds. Yeah, we'll take those, thank you. Oh, we managed to take one. That's how much capacity we've got left. We've got nothing right now. But hey, if we could grow some cannabis on this icy moon, I'm sure that it will make our delinquent here rather happy. It's a good goal for us to work towards. I think, for the moment, we will just check out the rest of the houses. Well, that's a cool looking teddy bear if I've ever seen one, but I think that's probably going to be staying here. Oh, we've got astronaut MREs down here in a cupboard, which we do not have the space to bring along with us. You know, I think gathering all these basics has been good, but I do believe that we are going to need to try and make this place fully safe before we do anything else. That's going to mean patrolling the town, making sure that we are alone here, and if we're not, dealing with the inhabitants, like this manhack, for example. Let's get our crash axe out and get ready to strike this thing when it gets close, and it shatters our torso. That is incredibly frustrating, just how quickly that seems to happen, but hey, what can you do? We've taken down that manhack with a critical, thrashing it. Damn, managed to get straight through our armor. I don't know how useful this is going to be. The helmet has been shattered. Our torso piece is just completely gone. So we have, I think, no torso protection now. Well, that's a lie. The exosuit frame does do protection, but not too much. I feel like we are sacrificing far too much here, wearing this exosuit armor. We're bleeding. Yes, we most certainly are. Let's drop that crash axe. Our torso's taken way more damage than I would like. Okay, the one really good thing that we're getting from the power armor more than anything is the strength. That means that we can fight in melee and do some pretty significant damage, and we can do it pretty quickly with the crash axe here. But if we come up against anything, you know, that can do some decent shooting, we're kind of screwed. So I definitely want to clear these ruins here, but we're going to have to do so really cautiously, and I think we are going to want to try and keep the bag with us, even if we are just hauling it along, and just be ready, if we hear noise on the other side of this wall. Whirring could be anything. It could be a manhack, it could be one of those goddamn drones. Right now though, it is just a manhack, so that's good. Let's let it fly towards us, get ready to try and strike us. It missed us the first time it flew towards us. Man, it is just, it keeps going for the torso. Come on, Walter, you've got this. Strike it down. So many missed attacks. Come on, buddy. Now, manhacks in general are going to be quite hard to hit. Thankfully, we got it there in the end. Okay, we need to get a new bandage on this thing. Okay, let's stay moving for now. We are not going to push it though. If it gets to the point where, okay, sounds like there's another. Now we could try the pistol route. Oh, okay, but we've already found other things here, which, let's see what we're looking at first of all. Okay, it is a skitterbot. It's a skitterbot, and we have weaponry. Really decent weaponry at that. The Magna drive here looks like it's firing solid hydrogen. It is a heavy plasma railgun that easily defeats most conventional armor. Okay, useful for taking care of heavy armor, so we could probably quite easily take care of that skitterbot, but then again, we know that we can slay skitterbots with what we've got in our hand right now. We're just making sure that that skitterbot is alone. It does seem to be. Okay. We've got the pick of the lot now. And I think everything here is going to be useful. So we're going to want everything. Now I say everything. I don't think the laser pistol is going to be useful, like, at all. It's a good holdout weapon for us, but the tactical laser, the magna driver, those are certainly going to be useful. Let's grab the power cartridges, the tactical laser, and let's start hauling that stuff out of here. Up here, we've got some caseless rounds, a beam scatterer, more of these power cartridges, some scrambler grenades, some voltaic cells as well. Okay, very nice. We'll make sure that we're hauling all the stuff that's on the ground here. And up here, we've got an AV-22, which I believe is just the pistol. We're definitely going to take the magna driver, and we're also going to take the PAM as well, because that's like short distance plasma fire. So we are going to take those back over towards where our little backpack is. And we're just going to keep on moving, because we are hearing things well before we're seeing them here. I think we just briefly saw something else, maybe to the southeast. But yeah, we'll just keep moving through like so. Rat Snatcher has been spotted. Stop moving items. Yes. Hello, Rat Snatcher. Okay, are we going to be able to clobber you? We can certainly try, can't we? There we go. We silenced the Rat Snatcher. It's dropped a heavy disposable battery. Oh, that's our helmet plate that we've just dropped on the ground here. It's shattered, so I think shattered is past the point of, it actually being protecting. Now I was hoping that these were going to last a lot longer. Yeah, they are plastic, but the plastic protection was still saying that they were really decent. It doesn't seem like we can do anything with that at all. We can maybe try and fix it, so it could still be worth us trying to haul it. So yeah, we'll keep it with for the time being. We're going to keep safe mode turned on. We're not going to be working out, no. But I do want to just check everything else. Okay. So, we're seeing some cyborgs in the distance. We can use the weaponry that we just picked up on them, and oh boy, it looks like we have access to some more of that weaponry. We have spotted a skitterbot, so yeah, we'll stop moving those. Actually, let's just kind of get everything on one square if we can. So let's just leave everything there for the time being. We got two, or rather a skitterbot and a rat snatcher. Okay, let's make our way around towards them. We're hearing something else up towards the north, maybe briefly, but I think we should be able to handle them just fine. Okay, keep on swinging. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's just haul this stuff so it's out the way of the door for now. And we were also hearing something else up here. Mechanical whirring. Let's just close this door, because we should be safe. Rat catchers might be able to open doors. Oh, rat snatchers, rather. Doesn't seem like they can. Let's keep on swinging. And we'll just go and bring you in here, close that door behind us. It looks like we're just dealing with power cartridges here, it seems. No, plasma cells and high-density capacitors. Well, they sound fun. Let's just take everything for now. And we're going to do the same thing with everything that's out here, because we don't know what we are going to want and when we're going to want it. So we are going to be building ourselves a little stockpile of voltaic cells and everything else. And it looks like there's something over here on this table. Yep, more power cartridges. And another one of those PAM things, which they could help us blast into places, potentially, so I think it's still worth us having a few of them around. Let's go back down to our pack, eh? We'll haul everything, and we'll keep on moving through these ruins for now, with safe mode turned on. Okay, and yes, let's stop moving. We saw a prototype cyborg back down there, but I don't think they saw us. Regardless, we want to be ready to deal with them. So, the Magna Drive, that's a good weapon for us to kind of like move back to if we need to. I think we're going to try and stick with the tactical laser rifle if we can though. So let's just start to move up, see if we can't get into a position in which we can see, those cyborgs. We can't see them right now. Where did they go? Okay, we can see it to the southeast. The prototype cyborg can also see us. Alright. Oh boy, and there's a lot heading our way. Okay, alright, so what kind of a shot are we going to be able to get with this? We're also going to go for the 3-second sequence here as well. We want to make sure that we're pumping some pretty serious damage into this thing. I'm also starting to think that maybe we want to go and grab the Magna driver now. Yeah, we're going to turn and we're going to start to run because we're not very fast in this thing right now. Okay, back on up over here for the moment. Drop that weapon and let's just go through the door up the top here. Okay, the Rat Snatcher is hot on our tail. That closed door should stop them for the moment though. Let's go back around the corner. Okay, we've got a skitterbot that's coming for us. Maybe 2 of them. I would love to have a melee weapon that we could swap out to. We might, honestly, just be able to use our fists. I'm going to back over towards the door though, just in case we, don't seem to do any damage to it at all, like we are kind of having happen right now. Okay, I mean, we're getting there with some criticals, but that's about it. Even with 18 strength, we really struggle to damage these skitterbots. I'm just hoping we're going to be able to finish them off before the cyborgs show up. Pummeling this thing, we finally get it done. Let's grab the magnet drive, let's close the door behind us, and let's get our breath back before anything else. Okay, stepping back outside, we've got a broken cyborg who's here immediately, ready to fight us. Now, I'm a little concerned about trying to fire over the edge of this thing here, so we're probably just going to close this door, and we're going to try and go out the back door, because I don't think they're going to be able to open up any of those. Let's try and approach this situation from the north if we can. Okay, well, we can see them, and they most certainly can see us. Okay, so that's as far as we can shoot from. So I think we're probably going to want to try and just start steadying up as they start to get closer. So I'm aiming for the prototype cyborg to begin with. I don't know if that's a mistake. It seems to be a little bit faster. Okay. Yep, it does work. This does work. Okay, and we want to be careful about firing that too close to ourselves. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, it's in plasma fire at the moment. Yeah, that's probably too close, so let's just turn. Thankfully, we are still faster than these things. Oh boy. Walter, what a toy you have. What a dangerous toy it is. Yeah, that was a grazing hit, but the EMP blast, that's important. The EMP blast is what killed it. Well then, now we know that. That is good to know. Okay, let's get your breath back once again, Walter, and standing here over the corpse of a broken cyborg, this scene mirrors near exactly the one that we started our episode with. Yet, we are not with our general anymore. Long may she rest. Walter, long may you live. Legionnaires, I'd like to thank you for joining me for yet another episode in Aftershock in this incredibly dangerous world. But we are learning over time of those dangers and what we need to do to survive. Let us hope we continue to do just that. And hey, if you enjoyed today's episode, tragedies aside, I ask you all, please consider leaving a comment or a like to let me know if you enjoyed the show. For now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.